Hey guys, it's Mr. Harper Smith. This is going to be a video on another way to solve a non-right triangle. Okay, so if something isn't quite right, we can use it this way. So this is called the law of cosines. Let's go through and put these in our notes for law of cosines. There's a triangle. With the law of cosines, the triangle is done the same way as it is with the law of sines. All of the sides are opposite of the angles. So C and C are opposite. B and angle B are opposite. Side A and angle A are opposite. Okay? Then here are three different variations. They basically are all the same thing. You have a side and its angle. You have a side and its angle. You have a side and its angle. Then you have the other two sides. 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 Okay? Let's practice using this. We've already learned about it, so this is just a review for the end of the year. I'm going to do this one first. First, I need to go through and label my triangle, A, B, C, as capitals, and A, B, C as lowercase. Let's do A, B, C as capitals, and then A, B, C as lowercase. Well, in this case, I'm trying to find the missing side. That's all I want to do. So the missing side is going to be side A, little a. Which of these equations am I going to use? First, second, or third? I can actually use any of them, especially if you have a TI Inspire calculator. It's awesome. But to make things easier, we're going to use that first one, a squared. So a squared equals b squared plus 7 squared minus 2 times 16 times 7 times cosine of 95. Alright, now that we have all of this here, we're going to go through and figure out what is A. And the nice thing is, you can literally just plug it into a calculator like it is as your first step. There'll be one step after that. Alright, if you don't like my calculator in your view, then rewind it or fast forward a little bit. So we've got 16 squared plus 7 squared minus 2 times 16 times 7 times cosine of 95. Make sure you are in degrees. 324. Awesome. Now the last step would be to get rid of the square on the A. If you look, A has a square on it. How do you get rid of this square? You take the square root. So we're going to take the square root of our last answer. 18.01. So just 18. So Alright, let's do this next one all together. I'm going to let you try this last one on your own. After that, if you're still confused, go back and, well, not go back. Look a little bit below this video and there'll be a couple other examples by other people. Alright, on this one, we're trying to find the missing side. We'll call this side B. If this is side B, what angle does this need to be? That would need to be angle B. We'll call this side A, angle A, side C, and angle C. Alright, of these three equations, I know angle B, so this is going to be the best one to use. B squared equals A squared, so 90 squared, plus 75 squared minus 2 times 90 times 75 times cosine of B. There we go. Alrighty, and here we go. You just plug it into a calculator. I'm not going to bother showing you this time. So I've got 90 squared plus 75 squared minus 2 times 90 times 90 times 75 times cosine of 80. That gives me 11,381. Now if I want to get rid of the square, I take the square root. That gives me B is 106, 107, because we're just doing 3 sig figs. There you go. All right, pause the video. Try this one on your own. All right? You have a side length of 34, a side length of 40, and an angle of 70. What would the other side of this triangle be? Go. All right, here we go. You should have paused it. You should have the answer by now. Okay? So, I'm going to start off with one of my sides. Well, let's call this C, A, and B. My angles would then have to be C, A, and B. Well, if I'm trying to find side C, it looks like this one here, this last equation, would be the easiest to use. Now, it doesn't matter. This could have been side A, in which case this would be angle A. In that situation, I would be using this first formula. It all depends on where you put your variables. So, this gives me, let's see here, C squared equals 40 squared plus 34 squared minus 2 times 34 times 40 times cosine 70. And we have a mathematician that's going to help us with the problem to finish it up. Mia, can you say hi? Can you say hi? Hi. Good job. Hi. Yeah. She doesn't know what we're looking at. So I'm going to go through and do this on a calculator. Ready, Amelia? 40 squared plus 34 squared. You can play with it right after. 34 times 2 times 40 times cosine of 70. I get 1,825. And I take the square root of that. 42.7. Alright, we get C is 42.7. What was C squared? 1,825. There you go. So, if you have more questions, look at the videos down below. They will help you as well. If you feel like you got this, like you don't need any more help, skip the videos below. Just try the problem that I'm delta math. Good luck.